Good morning, I'm Kristen Van Dyke.
And I'm the face of Fox, Elias Gallegos, in for Nikki Stanzione.
And this is New Mexico Style. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Have a good weekend?
I did. Thank you for the weather. I'm sure you had a little something to do.
I wish I could, but I can't, because when it's bad, then I have to take credit for that too. So.
Well, thanks. Thank you.
It was awesome this weekend. I saw so many people getting out. I went mountain bike shopping. Tons of people out there buying mountain bikes or getting theirs tuned up. People out on the trails. I went snowboarding. There's people enjoying the spring conditions. I mean, there's just so much to do around here. And when you get perfect weather like we had over the weekend, it is just awesome to be in New Mexico, I think.
Quite the snow bunny.
I was for a little while, but I didn't feel like a snow bunny. I mean, because it was so warm. Everybody was in tank tops.
Really?
And then, of course, after I got done, I wore the goggles, you know, and the sun's so strong, and I had the whole raccoon
classic
thing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people doing that. So, but yeah, the weekend, did you get out and enjoy it all?
Yeah, played some basketball in the sun. Got lots of friends who we go to the park and play ball, and I managed to squeeze in a 10K, which was
nice.
I don't know how I did it or why, but I'm still here to talk about it.
It was hot to run in the afternoon. I hope it was early.
It was early in the morning. It was fine.
Yeah, it's just been so warm this weekend. But again, yeah, the weather's just beautiful, and we'll talk more about that coming up in a moment. But let's talk about some hot topics right now, and this is one. Students at a New Jersey middle school have been told to keep their hands to themselves. Apparently, the principal made an announcement that students were in a no hugging school following some incidents of unsuitable physical interactions. And the school didn't really elaborate on what those were, but the new rule has a lot of parents and students kind of scratching their heads. What do you think?
Well, that's sounds like a pretty strict school.
No hugging? No hugs allowed. What about whenever, you know?
Hugs, not drugs?
Whenever the kids, you know, whenever I was little, my brother and sister and I, we got into an argument or something. We always had to hug it out. Exactly.
Well, the district superintendent says the district has the responsibility to teach children about appropriate interactions. He says despite the rule, students who hug will not be suspended.
Okay, so no suspension for hugging, just a big frown and probably
Stop that hugging.
I think that's, I don't know. I mean, stop the inappropriate behavior.
No hugs on New Mexico Style.
Yeah,
sorry.
But I mean, really, I don't know. I'm not really big on that, so.
Well, I guess there's worse things students can do, so perhaps maybe that.
Yeah, it's better than, do you remember back then when the principal or the teacher wouldn't let the student go to the bathroom? Yeah. She told him to hold it. I think he used the bathroom and like something and got in trouble. I don't know. But that was, maybe a little more.
There's always a loophole for things like that.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and check in with KRQE News 13 anchor Elizabeth Alvarez for this morning's headlines. Hey, Elizabeth.
Hey, good morning. I'll tell you what happened. I bet you it was just a few students who just went overboard with the hugging, and that's how this whole thing started.
You're probably right.
Anyway, happy Monday to you, and happy Monday to you at home. Top of your morning news right now. Right now, the fire that burned about 20 acres and a home in northern New Mexico is mostly out, and the people who were forced out of their homes have just been allowed back in. State forestry officials say they're in the mop-up stages at this point. Now, crews were watching the scene overnight because of shifting winds. It started yesterday afternoon between Chimayo and La Puebla near Highway 76 and County Road 87. Officials say it looks like someone may have set this blaze. Check out these pretty impressive pictures here sent in by some viewers. Forestry officials say about 100 homes were threatened at one point, and a number of homes were evacuated, as I mentioned, and shelters were even set up in Espanola and Santa Fe. So we're keeping a close eye on that, and we'll bring you any new developments if there are any. Tonight, we could learn if you here in Albuquerque will get to vote on $50 million going toward the Paseo I-25 interchange project, or if Albuquerque City Council will just make it happen. 3 city councilors, Debbie O'Malley, Isaac Benton, and Ray Garduno, pulled a surprise move at the city council meeting last week, saying they wanted you to vote on this. But the mayor and other councilors say that's just a waste of time and could cost the city millions of dollars in federal money. You see, if 7 of the 9 councilors get the project a thumbs up or give the projects a thumbs up, then it's a go without a public vote. The New York Times bet that there were more than a few problems with the horse racing industry here in New Mexico, and it looks like the paper could be right. The Times reports 5 of the 6 tracks with the highest rates of having problems in the country are right here in New Mexico. Its investigation says some trainers here use drugs to make sick horses race and rarely get in trouble for it. Now, the new executive director of the State Racing Commission told the Times safety issues are being addressed. You can find a link to the article on our website, krqe.com. Just go to news and click on the news links section. A Marine from New Mexico who got the Medal of Honor 2 years ago after he died in Vietnam is finally getting the recognition he deserves. Soon there will be a life-size statue of Kenneth Lee Worley in New Mexico. He's from Farmington and was just 20 years old when he threw himself on a grenade to save 5 other Marines. Worley's buried, or his body is buried in California, but a lot of people here had never heard of what he did because his family moved around a lot. But that is sure to change by now. The wife of the U.S. soldier accused of randomly killing 17 Afghan civilians says she finds the charges unbelievable. Carolyn Bales told a morning talk show host that her husband, Staff Sergeant Robert Bales, who you see here, is very brave, very courageous, and that he joined the Army after the attacks on September 11th because he wanted to do his part. Well, the government says Bales went into a village earlier this month and killed at random 8 adults and 9 children. If convicted, he could face the death penalty. In other national news today is the 1-month anniversary of the shooting death of an unarmed black teenager in Sanford, Florida, that's near Orlando, that has caused an uproar nationwide. Excuse me. The death of 17-year-old Trayvon Martin has sparked protests across the country as people continue to demand that police arrest the man who admits to shooting the teen. That man is a neighborhood watch captain named George Zimmerman. He claims he acted in self-defense when he says the teen, who was wearing a hooded sweatshirt, was walking through the neighborhood. Residents in Sanford held a prayer event Sunday, and another rally is planned for today. There's also a movement on Facebook right now in support of justice for Trayvon Martin to not buy any goods today. Pope Benedict is heading to Cuba today. It's the first visit to that country from a pontiff in a long time. Yesterday, the 84-year-old wrapped up his visit in Mexico. He entertained followers in a very traditional way when he wore a sombrero before he held Mass for more than 300,000 people. Pope Benedict's trip to Cuba is the first since Pope John Paul II visited that country in the late 1990s. And that wraps it up for your Monday morning headlines. Be sure to catch Matt Morrow, Kristen Van Dyke, and me every weekday morning on KRQE News 13 beginning at 4:30 a.m. Elias, Kristen, I'm going to send it back to you.
All right. Thanks, Elizabeth.
Thank you.
All right. I missed it. I missed the sombrero
You did.
moment.
It was a split second.
It. Oh, that'd be kind of cool to see. All right. This weekend, so nice to be outside, but a lot of people managed to make it to the movies, in particular Hunger
yes,
movies.
You're really excited about
yeah,
that.
Hungry for action. Fans came out to see this weekend's The Hunger Games in record form. The movie made $155 million this weekend, making it the 3rd highest earning debut in history, beating out Spider-Man 3 and trailing close behind the final Harry Potter and film Batman's The Dark Knight.
Wow, I take arms against beating The Dark Knight, but last week's top seller, 21 Jump Street, was sidelined to 2nd place this week, and rounding out the rest of the top 5 are Dr. Seuss, The Lorax. Have you seen that?
Nope, I haven't seen that one yet.
John Carter, and Act of Valor, which is one I really want to see. I still haven't done it.
And you know what's kind of cool about the Hunger Games? You know, I think it cost around $77 million to make the movie. They've already made twice.
John Carter was like $375 million or something. They're not going to make it back.
They're not going to make it back on that one. So they've already made a ton of money. I know they're expecting a big audience for it. It's similar to kind of a Twilight thing, but now with I think these books, you kind of have more of a guy crowd.
Really?
Yeah, more so than Twilight, I think. I think this movie's more, it's got a lot of action. So you get the guys and the girls, and you get a lot of people coming in, I guess.
Well, sadly enough, it's easier to get behind a concept like Hunger Games because you hope it never happens, but something like that someday could happen. I don't know, but maybe there are vampires.
I don't know. That's more like teeny bopper stuff. But
Yeah.
Honestly, it's kind of a dark story, but it's pretty cool. And again, I think what's kind of cool too is it has a local tie.
Yes. Yes, it does, with New Mexico.
Right, with Willow Shields playing playing one of the main characters,
Primrose.
sister in the movie, Primrose. So
There you go.
definitely check it out if you haven't seen it. Again, this weekend the weather was just too nice, I think, to head to the movies. And more on movies. James Cameron has broken records at the box office for his movies, including Titanic and Avatar. We all know that, but now he's broken another one.
This one's cool.
By going to the deepest point in the ocean. He reached the bottom of the Mariana Trench this weekend. That's 7 miles below sea level in the Pacific Ocean.
I don't even know if I can count to 7. This video of him a few weeks ago testing out the equipment for his expedition. Cameron is collecting samples as part of a National Geographic research expedition. He's only the 3rd person to reach the bottom of and the 1st to do it by himself.
Right. He loves to he gets really into the stuff for the Titanic. They were going down. Remember all the research that went into finding the actual Titanic below the sea. And now for this movie, he's going 7 miles
Below.
underwater.
Yeah.
And he's doing tons of research there, and of course National Geographic's going to be doing a big production. There will be a show on this, some kind of documentary. I can't wait to see it.
He's quite the pioneer. That's a
at him.
dangerous expedition to undergo.
Brave guy, I'd say. All
Really
right.
cool. We're like transfixed on the video. That was
Okay,
cool.
how about this story? Have you heard this? Would you give up your Facebook password in order to just land a new job? Would you? You would.
I would, to get this job, but I didn't have to.
You didn't have to, right. Exactly. That's the whole point. You don't have to. Well, Facebook users, most of them say it invades privacy, while employers say they want to know who they're hiring.
Well, the request is now getting some attention on Capitol Hill. Fox's news correspondent Anna Kuhlman has the story.
Some employers demanding that job seekers surrender their Facebook credentials as a condition of being hired.
The job's my dreams. Maybe I'd really have to think about it, but it's private.
That means HR is poking around for hidden gems about you if you let them.
Sometimes, very positive, we learn more about a candidate that maybe we didn't know in an interview.
On Sunday, 2 U.S. senators asking for a Department of Justice investigation to see if the procedure is a violation of federal law.
There's nothing voluntary about an employer asking a job applicant for login credentials or passwords. It is coercive.
The method has alarmed privacy advocates, but is it illegal? Facebook pages generally contain personal information protected by federal employment laws, like a person's gender, race, religion, and age.
The good news is it may be illegal already. The law, we do have privacy laws, but they're not updated to deal with modern technology such as Facebook.
Senators Schumer and Blumenthal vowing to fill in any gaps in the law, and Facebook harshly condemning this practice, threatening legal action, arguing your information is no one's business. Quote, this practice undermines the privacy expectations and the security of both the user and the user's friends.
You shouldn't be required to give up your private life just to get a job.
Facebook's terms of rights and responsibilities forbidding users from sharing their passwords. Aside from the privacy concerns, the company considers it a security risk. In New York, Anna Koyman, Fox News.
I really don't agree with it at all. Not because I have anything to hide. I have 2
Sure.
Facebook pages. I have my public page where I just interact with a lot of people, friends and everything. And then I have my private page, which is mainly just my family and my friends.
Of course.
There's never anything obviously inappropriate on there, but my sister's on there, my little sister, and and you
That's
have
scary.
and there's some of my cousins that are younger and stuff. And I feel like it would be not only a violation on my privacy, but on
Infringement-
theirs. But
infringement on
they're
theirs,
gonna see
yeah.
their information and what they've posted. I just think I don't know. I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't see that being
it
a real possibility of having to relinquish your codes for stuff like that. It's sort of silly, and I don't agree with it either.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. It sounds like they're trying to do something about it anyway. Well, today, did you know, is Make Your Own Holiday Day, which means that you get to make today a special day for anything that you want. What do you make today, Elias?
Today is Knight Rider Day.
For you, Knight Rider? Okay, so how does that work?
This would be a day where you get all your Knight Rider toys and you just sort of set them up
Knight Rider toys.
and have act out your own Knight Rider scene.
All right.
Yeah, you could do a pledge allegiance to David Hasselhoff. I don't know if that's.
I don't
Can I
think
say that?
No.
Maybe not. I'll rethink that. You got me on the spot.
Talk to your car, though.
Pick me up, good buddy.
Yeah, no, today I would make it to eat whatever type of food you want to eat today.
Oh, that's a little more.
I know we're going to be cooking some good food later on, but I think it'd be fun just to eat junk food all day long.
She's always thinking this.
But yeah, get creative. Be a little more creative than us and come up with your cool day for your make your own holiday day today. Well, Bandelier National Monument is calling on photographers and artists from around the country to submit work for display on the park's 2013 annual pass.
The winner and the 2 runner-ups will receive free entry to all national parks for 1 year. The park will be accepting submissions through April 4th.
Yeah, pretty cool. So
Bandelier is a really cool park. You should see it.
There's so many cool things around the state, like I was talking about. I mean, you can explore infinitely, I feel like, in New Mexico, and the weather has just been perfect for it, and it's going to stay pretty nice. It won't be as hot as it was over the weekend. Let's take a look at the forecast.